Chris, could you just surmise what the mood's like in the game?
Disappointed. Yeah, very. I think in a game where I think in a first half period, I thought they were probably better in possession than what we were, but didn't really threaten. You know, if I'm looking at sort of opportunities that they had and chances, then I think we were able to confine them to them minimal chances. I think, and particularly getting into areas. So we needed to be better second half. Sometimes that happens with a goal, or it happens with the game opening up a little bit. But I thought we were better in that second half, and I think probably our biggest failing today was not finishing off the game, because if you don't, if you're hanging on and not getting into enough good areas, then that's a little bit different. But I thought we got into some good areas, really good areas in that second half period, and the goal they scored can happen. It's a wonderful strike, and it can happen. But at that stage of the game, our lead for me should have been greater, and of course that wins us the game.
I was going to say you've come such a long way over the last few months. Is that the only thing that you feel is missing? Is that lack of killer instinct to try and
today? Yes, yeah, today. I mean, at times in the first half period, it was quite a bobbly pitch. I think a little bit difficult. I think for both teams at times. So I thought. With the way that we'd be playing, our ball retention, I think in the first half could have been better. But again, that can happen. You're away from home against a team that's in really good form. So you have to analyse the second half, and who had the better chances. They changed things, went far more direct towards the end, and probably what you are is you're probably in that position, with sort of 10 minutes to go where. They're going very direct, putting a lot of players up, that you've really got to make sure that you don't concede. And of course, they scored a wonderful goal.
An handball, Chris?
I must admit, I've not seen it again. I mean, what I've heard, and somebody's mentioned it, that yes, there was talk about handball, but I must admit, I don't know. I've not seen it again.
What was your message to the players after the game? Did you have to pick them up?
I mean, they're disappointed and down at the moment, and I think probably sometimes it's also about the timing, of the goal. I think when if they score that goal earlier, and it becomes an even, second half, then maybe you're walking away from here, still sort of quite happy with the point, or not so disappointed with the point. But I think probably the timing of the goal as well, and if they get that in the first half period, we might have said, well, we weren't great in that first half period. But I think to get it at the time when they're the one chance I think that went across goal, but apart from that, probably never really looked like scoring. So that's probably the biggest disappointment.
Can I ask you about James Garner's performance tonight? I mean, you've worked with some fantastic players over the years. How good do you think he can be? Because he was
I thought he was second half. I thought it took him a little while to get into the game. I think it was difficult. I think in that. In the centre of midfield, I think in that first half, and as I said, I think the pitch was a little bit bobbly at times. So for him and Caffrey found it hard to get that ball down. But he's one. I thought that he grew into the game, and I think he got better as the game went on. I mean, how good, I don't know. I mean, I think probably our biggest responsibility now is to not build him up too much, and to make sure that he's getting a good education here. He's already done that at Watford first half of the season, so that's our responsibilities with him. And of course that comes with not building him up too much. We want him playing, and we want him as and he's a very level-headed young man who's had a good education.
Just finally, some housekeeping from me. Ryan Yates, what's the situation?
It was touch and go. It was the same problem that kept him out for the last few weeks. The good news is that it's very, very minor, and we're hoping that he'll be training come Sunday. So that hopefully puts him in contention. I can't guarantee that, but hopefully puts him in contention for Tuesday. If not, certainly Saturday.
And is he training on a?
Yes, he's still not training with us yet. I must admit. So. Would I see him being available Tuesday? Probably not at this stage. But again, it was for the type of injury that it is, it's one that certainly could have been worse, and it ended up being very minor.
Chris, 2 defeats from 15 league games. It's all about momentum in this division. You must feel like you're getting a bit of a foothold now.
Yes, and I think the stats speak for itself, but also, you know, I'm coming away. You know, I think, you know, 2 months ago, you know, maybe irrespective of performance, we would have been perhaps happy with a draw away from home, albeit against our local rivals, but a team that's in good form. So the change room says, I think the change room sums up, I think, where we are at this moment. You know, that there was an opportunity to win a game, and particularly this game, but not just because it's this game, but because, you know, we want to win as many games as possible. So I think that's where we are at the moment, but we've got to keep that momentum going, and that continues with another tough game against Luton on Tuesday.